see. There we go. Alright. Now we're on. And in chat. Alright, so if you're just now coming on, we are just starting the Season 4 PEL draft show. And if I alert everyone the right way. There we go. Alright, so with me right now, it's only one of our very large commish crew, and that is Mr. Cody the Titans himself. Cody, how are you doing tonight?
I'm alright.
Yeah, we're kind of tired. It's been a long day. Cody's got a little one on the way. I had to put my significant other to bed. Not in that way. Worked all day. It's a Monday. But as we always do, we're going to go through the teams and we're going to break down what we think you guys should focus on tomorrow night. Draft at 9 p.m. Eastern time. On the screen right now are the draft stories, and I start here because these draft stories are actually very important to what kind of development or how good a player may be in some cases. You see the report on Glenn Smith about a running back. Glenn Smith is actually a fullback. I thought he was a halfback, and I scrolled through the halfbacks and couldn't find him. But it says he had a good pro day, which could mean he's going to have a nice development if you need a fullback. I don't know how many people do, but don't take him in the first round. Just a word of the wise.
Yeah.
Riley McPherson did well at the All-Star game. He is a center, projected second rounder. So if you need a lineman, that might be a way you want to go. And then some on the bad side, the strong safety Glenn Bollinger barely made it past 10 reps. So he's not going to be a good big hitter. He'll be probably more of a coverage guy. And then you see some of the other guys we talked about. Bennett Blue, talked about him on the mock draft. Really good corner, probably the best corner in the draft. The left end Jamal Rouse is a mid-round D end. And the tight end Keyshawn Fiametta is a projected second round tight end as a blocker, but he showed some receiving skills as well. Cody, you have any thoughts on those guys?
Well, I really didn't look at them, to be honest with you.
All right, so let's jump into the team. Tonight you're getting brutal honesty. No fluff.
That's right.
It's all real in the PEL. All right, so let's jump into the Bears where we start the show.
Hello.
You just come in cutting people off, man. I got a rhythm going, and you just come in and doing your thing.
You know what? Greatness never stops. You know, you shouldn't never stop. So, I just thought you always got the groove. You just wanted the attention.
We're off to a great start here. Joining us is Levi, the 49ers.
Hey.
How are you doing, sir?
It's colder than two anorexic bitches outside. It's very cold up here.
Now, who's to say anorexic bitches are cold? I mean, have you been an anorexic bitch? Do you know?
Have you seen two anorexic bitches standing outside? It's in the cold. Pretty fucking cold. You know, you can't really get warm.
I don't look at anorexic bitches. I like thick girls.
Hey, man.
I'm looking at everybody. Just saying.
It's good to be equal opportunity. That's great. All right, so let's start with the Bears and stay on track. The Bears have the 9th pick in the first round, and as you go through their roster, what do you guys think?
I'm loading up right now. Hold on, give me a minute.
Okay.
I think, his O-line's pretty young. He's got some pretty good O-line, but I think he needs to focus train them. So I don't think he really needs to go O-line, but I'd probably get another DT and linebackers. And then I think he needs a star. I like that Morgan Frost. He's definitely going to develop him, but I think he needs another stud at corner to help him out. And then I think he needs to start looking into getting a strong safety as well.
Yeah, in the mock draft, I gave him the second best corner in the draft. I believe his name. I think it's McMillan is his name. I think he would pair well with the Frost guy you mentioned. But just scrolling through the roster, I agree. Another defensive tackle is a definite need. You can upgrade at linebacker some, like you mentioned. And I think D end. You look at the guy Stinson at right end. He's okay at best. I think you can upgrade there also. He's really loaded up on the offensive side of the ball the last couple drafts, and I think his receiving core has a lot of speed.
Yeah.
Looking at Trubisky, I don't know if he is the answer or not. I mean, he's all right, and I know he's a Bears
I was
fan.
looking at that too.
Yeah, but I didn't scout the quarterbacks. But if one of those guys looks good, you might pull the trigger on another quarterback because Trubisky is, only normal development. 27, he's starting to, reach his peak of what he's going to be. So, Levi, have you got to the roster yet?
Yeah, I'm here. My analysis on the Bears team, and I was going to mention Trubisky. I think it might be time to start looking for a new quarterback because, and this is just my personal perspective, he looks the same except with better awareness. So I think he's, like you said, he's already reached his peak. So I think it will be time to start looking for, a different quarterback in about a season or two, to kind of fill that void. Because I know he already signed him to a new deal, so I don't know how
Oh, yeah, he
long
did.
he's going to stick with him. So he might end up being a backup quarterback. But I think he might be in the market to look for a new quarterback, and not only quarterback, some more athleticism in the linebacking core. I know Nick Witowski, pretty slow, not really a bad thing because he still has some alright skills, but when it comes to a coverage linebacker, he's kind of lacking in that area of his linebacking core. And right end, but his right end is not bad. Kent Stinson, like you said, not a bad guy. Has some great physical attributes and a little bit of skill, but just lacking on some actual playability on that type of side. But yeah, that's what I kind of analyze when I look at the Bears squad so far.
All right, very good. And we got through that in a short 5 minutes. Next, we got the Bengals. The Bengals have the 11th pick in the first round. They made a trade with the Cardinals that we'll detail later on. But he's been shopping picks. What do you guys think on his roster here?
Well, first and foremost, I still think that D-line he had last season was impeccable. I still don't see exactly how that happened, but
I can tell you, it was aggressive rush, and people not getting them out of aggressive rush, and that makes no sense to me at all. But anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I know that a close source of mine saying that he's talking to some people from the 49ers organization trying to get a trade going. Sources say that it involves newly acquired middle linebacker Watts Kitchen from the 49ers. So we're going to see what goes down with that trade talk right there. But I know he's talking to me about having some more speedy linebackers. And I think that's everybody's problem for so far.
Yeah.
But he got Hassan Riddick.
That was the trade that I was going to break down later. Yes, sir.
Oh my God! Good Lord! Thank you for taking them. We appreciate it. I think he's kind of set to where how his roster goes. Except strong safety, he might want to get some speed back there. Because even though LaQuavius Blackson is good when it comes to a skill position, he has 83 speed as a strong safety. So I don't know whether he want to keep that back there for somebody who has speed. Everybody to just kind of defend that deep part of the field, but. That's my little analysis for right now until I go deeper.
Yeah, I would say the same thing. Just D-line doesn't have to touch. Linebackers, that was gonna say you need a middle linebacker or linebackers in general, except for his right outside linebacker. His O line is still young, and I think he's got time to develop them anyways. I would go another receiver and a
Yeah,
tight
that
end.
receiver right there, Drake Aubrey won some awards, so he's definitely going to
fast.
be the go-to guy. And he
99
signed,
acceleration.
yeah, he signed AJ Green back, which surprised me. But you can play him opposite. He can still catch the ball and run the possession routes. I do know he's looking for speed in the secondary, like Levi mentioned. For those picks, I thought about it, but then once I saw how the draft fell, I didn't want to make a deal for number 11. I don't think giving up the speed that I was considering was worth that pick. So, if you do have speed in the secondary, he will make a deal with you. But overall, he's done a good job with the roster that really needed to be turned over. And signing Dak Prescott in free agency, I think, will help him a good bit because the way he plays on offense, he'll use him to his strengths, and that'll be a good pick. And he's in a really tough division in the AFC North, but he's here to compete, and he's a really good player. And I think next year he's going to challenge for the playoffs. The Bills, these sorry motherfuckers. We have the fifth pick in the draft, and I'll just briefly kind of go through myself here to save you guys some breath here. Of course, Kelly's the franchise. We're going to shift to Roberts at running back, going to a more power approach to see how that works out. Polak, we took him in the first last year. He needs some seasoning. I think he'll be a contributor. He'll be in the lead kickoff returner and stuff, but I'm taking him away from the lead back right now. We'll see what happens. And then Procise is the third down guy. Fullback, we're good. Receiver, I have a lot of guys that have to be re-signed. I think Werner and Biggers, the top two, have to be re-signed. Collier's only got 2 years left, and Doxson's at his last year, so we'll be looking to backfill receiver probably later on in the draft, because I don't know if I can re-sign all those guys. Tight end, we've got a interesting mix. Pruitt did a good job last year. I know his ratings are low, but he finds a way to get open all the time. And then O'Leary and Olsen are good blockers. And then Schwenke, I'm not sure exactly what to do with him right now. It seems like he does a little bit of everything, but the 75 speed, is kind of offset with that acceleration, but I don't know. I'm still exploring that. He may get a development upgrade. I'm not sure. And O-line, we're good. The problem is those two tackles have to get re-signed, so that's where the money's going. Glenn was franchised. He won't be back after this year. Turner's got to be re-signed too, so this draft is very important. We have to get depth in the right spots. D-end, we got Hendricks in there. I want to give him a chance. He's really fast off the edge with good finesse move. I think if I just let him play, he can develop into a really, really good pass rusher. Of course, Willis is a beast. And then the 2D tackles, Casey is awesome. Thank you, Cody. Darius may get moved very soon in negotiations. And Vander does, he's got his last year. I don't know if he'll be re-signed. And then linebackers, I like these guys after much trepidation. We finally got a core that's pretty good. Walker's in his last year. He may not get re-signed, but Lee got to quick development, so he can replace him. The middle backers, Roberts is awesome. He was my only Pro Bowler last year. And then Jerry is really good too with his speed. And Ragland does really well. He got hurt at the end of last year. The two corners that are going to start are Kinder and Will Height. I like that speed on the outside. We're moving Trey White to safety. We cut Earl Thomas after 2 disappointing underachieving seasons where he got overpaid and was just fat and lazy. Gilmore is playing the slot corner. He was a good signing. And then Rudy Ford at the strong is really an awesome guy. He's rated 87, but he plays like a 95. He does so much for us. Okay, I'm sorry. I took too long.
Oh, you good?
But that's us, and hopefully, we'll be back to our normal ways of competing for playoffs and losing in the first or second round. All right, jump to the Broncos, and I'll let you guys go on him.
Quarterback.
Didn't first and foremost quarterback.
He had a bid on somebody, didn't he? Was it
My
Beathard?
man, CJ. It was CJ. I said, man, he gonna have to go to a team that actually is quarterback needy because Beathard is not bad. Like I wrote in my column, like I thank him for the 4 years we did have him. Took us to the playoffs every year and took us to the NFC Championship twice. So definitely not a bad compadre. It's just I had to come down to paying him or paying Solomon, and they both won a $100 million contract, so one had to go.
Ugh, jeez. Well, yeah, I think you made the right choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Cody.
I'd say he's gonna need some depth at D line just because a lot of them are starting to get kind of old. Definitely, I know he's talking about Miller's probably last year there.
Mm-hmm.
That Hurd guy's not bad though, so he might can start him to start developing them. Let's see.
I wouldn't be surprised if he kind of looks like defensive tackle.
Yeah, I agree with D tackle. Those guys are kind of slow, and they're not the strongest. I mean, they're decent. I could see an upgrade there. Left guard, I think, can definitely get an upgrade, and that guy's only a 77. Marshall's slowing down.
Maybe. I would probably go receiver though.
If I have to see what he would spend his first round pick on, honestly, I think I would think D tackle because this is a good class for defensive tackles early on.
I agree with you there, Levi, and I think also if you want to be creative, the 3-4 D ends can slide to D tackle. I think they're a strong group also.
Oh yeah.
But I do agree with Cody about the receiver. And I say this because when you're playing against Tristan and Deontay in that division, you got to have playmakers. And that's the thing that's been holding him back. He can play good defense and stay in games, but if you don't have playmakers to make plays, you're not going to win those big games. And he doesn't have the playmakers to do that right now. He's got a lot of possession guys, even at tight end. He's all right. He's got two actually pretty good tight ends, but they don't have those elite physical traits. And I think that's what he's got to take in the first round. You got to take someone that can take the top off of defense, throw the ball to you, can make somebody miss and go the distance. You got to have that. And I think if he gets one or two of those guys, he'll be even tougher because he got better last year. I think he was around 8-8, and I know when I played him, he was better than the last time I played him before. He actually beat me. Not really hard to do last year, but anyway, he's got the 13th pick in the first round, so you can definitely get a playmaker there. I think there'll be a couple still on the board. Everyone's favorite Doo-Doo Browns.
Yeah, we can go ahead and skip him. I mean, he's still young everywhere and badass everywhere. So I mean, hell, the only thing he might take would be a halfback, maybe.
Oh, like he needs that. It doesn't matter. He'll find some undrafted free agent and make him a superstar.
I mean, I don't see. Maybe to get somebody to replace Kirksey. I don't know what his contracts look like. Who's got to resign?
Yeah, that would be the consideration here, I think. At 29, you could probably take a halfback there that's worthy. The halfback class wasn't that strong. overall. But if you're picking at 29, I think you can take whoever you think scouted the best and be okay with that decision. Kind of like what I did last year with the Pollock guy. He was a 5th round projection, and he didn't work out, but he's not too much money on the books. I could see him doing that.
You really don't got no holes really anywhere, honestly.
Yeah.
Especially not on the offensive end. Especially
Well,
since he developed that quarterback.
he's got a hole in Marcus Williams.
Yes and no. Like, I think it will only become a hole if he didn't have the defensive line he has, which you're not really going to see Marcus Williams because you're going to be facing Myles Garrett. So it's kind of
Well,
like
I was making a Viking Saints game joke.
yeah. You know what? Didn't even realize that was actually him.
Strong safety, if you had to pick a hole, those guys need to develop some. But kind of just scrolling through them, they do have some pretty decent attributes, but you could upgrade there. Yeah, but I think strong safety, halfback are the 2 holes if you had to poke holes. I know he's very excited about this upcoming season for good reason.
Lord.
Buccaneers, our favorite. So what does Blake need to
But
do?
I think Blake
Receiver.
needs to go receiver. Yeah, because he has one receiver coming off the books this year. So I don't know whether he wants to keep him or wants to get rid of him. But I think receiver is definitely the first look, if not anything else. Some better tackles to compete with his division pass rushers, because I know he's been getting tore up by Jeff. And
Dude,
didn't
I
Denver
swear.
Kirkland? Didn't Denver Kirkland give up the most sacks like 3 years ago?
Yes,
I
and
would
then
say
he
that's
went
the
and
only place he
signed
needs to
him.
upgrade on.
Go get him a
I
new tackle.
swear. At least the O-line does look better than last year. I
Yeah,
tell you
that
that.
line looks a lot better.
Yeah.
He has his team built the right way as he wants to on defense. Can cover in the back and can kind of pass rush in the front since he's a D-line user.
He needs a
But-
D tackle, man.
Yeah.
McCoy 33 and then those other 2 guys.
He's
gotta
that
go.
experienced veteran you always say. He can still produce.
Wait, I mean, that's one. he
You're right. Try to get him a bit of the doubt, kind of backfire.
No, those linebackers are still decent though.
Very, very decent.
Yeah, I could see a corner. I could see
Yeah,
that
I was
too.
gonna say a corner.
But yeah, I mean, he does look better. He played better last year. He was in it till week 17, and then Jeff won and knocked him out because he won. So, he's making progress.
I'd say he takes a dip at strong safety.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Somebody
with
with
that.
some more speed.
Yeah, because he doesn't blitz a lot, does he?
No.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Not that I can remember.
All right, Arizona Cardinals. Levi.
Jesus Christ. My worst nightmare is coming true, first off, because I saw that he had a bid on Beathard, and that would be the most disrespectful thing, because he told me that he'll have Beathard on the bench and make him sit there and watch. So that's just terrible. But I know I remember him talking about going to grab a running back because David Johnson is old, and that he needed some more great receivers or some playmakers on offense, because
I agree.
he can kind of get away from him at times. But he kind of screwed up his own captain. We talked about this, balling out for average offensive linemen like
Oh
Jawan
my
James
God!
and
I
who
was
the other
shaking my
person?
head at that whole thing because that was my worst lineman. That's why I let him go.
And John Miller, he balled out on them.
Yeah,
too.
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but I think that since he released Chandler Jones and he replaced him with Agba and Marcus Golden, yeah, I think Ian is definitely a possibility that he might go because the athleticism is there and the skills is there in his linebacking core. And personally, for me, he doesn't need any more people in the secondary because he hits hard enough. I don't need people, hitting me any harder. I'm good because, I just don't like it. But quarterback, I know
Says the
definitely
16-0 guy.
Mm-hmm.
Says the 16-year-old guy who lost in the conference. We're not gonna get to that. Look, he needs offense. Okay, he needs offense and not a lot of it, but just some playmakers and speed to kind of help him. Because I know Caleb is that type of guy to play on offense.
I see a corner. I mean,
I was gonna say he needs a lockdown corner.
Those guys are okay, but Mitchell's the best one, and he's 29. I mean, the way his stats look, he can probably get by for this year, but I think corner, if there's one there. I like his safeties a lot, like you said, Levi. The quarterback thing I could see, yep. Definitely speed at receiver. And tight end too.
Yeah, I was thinking tight end as well.
Yeah, Rose is alright, but you can do a little better there.
I will only not say tight end because he doesn't throw to his tight end, except if he was Delaney Walker. Inside joke, but if it was Delaney Walker, probably would say no, he wouldn't. Still, then he doesn't throw to his tight end that much. So,
well, even a blocking tight end because it's the way he likes to run.
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense.
Yeah, that I can agree with. But I think he just might end up just making more depth at the tight end position than actual need.
Well, number 20 in the draft, I think you can kind of go best player available. Honestly, if I'm that low, that's what I usually do. He's
my
got
favorite philosophy.
Yeah, he's got different spots that he can go. So take the best guy and figure it out later. All right, now this is really everybody's favorite guy. We all know him and love him.
My
Deontay,
favorite person in the world.
the guy that gets more bullshit wins. Had one against me a couple years ago in the playoffs in the second round. But anyways, you guys go ahead.
I wouldn't be surprised if he took a receiver, a younger, more polished receiver, to actually build it for him. But, Nick Trevathan, he's not a bad project at all whatsoever. I just think that with Keenan Allen getting old and Mike Williams just having the skill, I know Deontay is going to want a little speed at some point in time. So whether he might use Nick Trevathan, I have no clue. But I think he might take a dip at wide receiver, if anything. And definitely safeties. I remember looking at it in the playoffs. I think safety, unless he's going to move Jason Verrett, which he did, to safety. But I know for a fact that strong safety is probably going to be one of his looks. It has to be.
Doesn't he use the safety?
Or right tackle.
I think he uses safeties, I believe.
Yeah, he does. He uses a little bit of everybody.
Yeah.
Except for D-line. I don't think I've ever seen him on D-line.
Did you say left tackle, Cody?
I meant right tackle.
Oh,
He means offensive lineman?
Say. Yeah, Fisher. Yeah, he might be able to get one more year out of him, but
I'd
I
say
can see
outside
that.
linebacker too. Left side.
I think my biggest head scratcher about this offseason for Deontay is that he signed George Kittle to a nice 4-year, $20-something million contract, and I'm like, why if you have Hunter Henry? Granted, I'm not saying that because he used to play for me, but I'm just like, I thought he would go to somewhere that's actually tight end needy. But I think he might run a lot of 2 tight end sets this year, especially just me.
He did that last year though. He had Delaney Walker, Hunter Henry, and who was that other tight end he got?
I think he signed a veteran. I remember that, Cody, and I was kind of scratching my head too, like, what are you doing all these tight ends? But I could see that with his receiver situation.
Right.
To go to more 2 tight ends, and he's loyal to those hometown Chargers. So I think Allen, Williams, both Williams actually and Allen will play as long as they possibly can. So he may be fine with them right now. But yeah, definitely signing Kittle. A lot of 2 tight end sets, trying to get matchups against formations. It's not
I
actually
go DT too.
Yeah, not a bad move. Yeah, I can
corner.
see DT. Yep.
And corner for sure.
Yeah, he signed that guy. Kennison was on my practice squad, and as soon as I turned freaking practice squad stealing on, he stole him from me. And I'm still mad about that. Because it's like, you don't need any more help, Deontay. It's not right.
After the repetitive feeling that's been done to me, I'm just kind of like, here we go again.
And Deontay is pick number 31, so he'll take whoever's best available. He usually drafts that way. All right, Tristan's Chiefs. Tristan will not be at the draft,
Jesus
but
Christ.
when you look at this team, you wonder, why do they not win every year? And I don't know where you go. I mean,
Kicker.
Hey, he don't have one on the roster. I'm just stating.
I joked on the mock draft that he was going to take another speed receiver.
He probably will.
Well, honestly, here's going to be an underrated thing about Tristan this offseason. What he does this offseason is going to determine exactly how his team is going to go for the rest of the Madden, because you know that he invested or put all his chips in on the first season with those four first round picks.
Yep.
So two of his corners, they 99 overall, and they are pretty damn good.
Right. But you cannot sign everybody, and this is where it comes to roost. And I was telling Kendall this the other day when he was asking me about getting help financially, and I said, no, sir, you didn't earn a cap clearance, so you're gonna have to make some tough decisions.
Yeah.
This is when it happens.
This is definitely when it happens. You have 399 overall people who were just drafting your first draft class alone, along with your starting halfback. Yeah, son, you got some really tough financial decisions to make. Forget who you need to draft, it's who you gonna keep.
And this is what I was talking about earlier, and I was talking about breaking down my team. You have to draft in anticipation of losing people. And
yeah, that's exactly how I went.
Yeah, so I've got a really strong D line, but like D tackle I projected to myself, that was real. That wasn't trying to fool nobody, because I'm letting those guys go because I have to sign people, and he's going to have to do the same thing. I don't know. I mean, I don't know where you go. He does have 2 first-round picks to help, but hopefully he sets his draft board.
Another first-round pick.
The Texans.
Let's just that's his award, is a first round pick. That's just his
dude.
Don't give him the first round bastard. That's what we call him.
Don't get me started. The Texans have given up. Well, when we get to Texans, I'll talk about that. Anyways, let's go to those picks are 7 and 22. I mean 26 in the first round. But he will not be there, so those will be CPU picks. Colts. Cody, I'll let you take the lead on him.
I mean, he could still get by with luck, but I mean, if he wanted to go quarterback, he could. I'm still gonna say he needs a receiver. He didn't take nobody the last one, I don't think. If he did, he just took a late flyer.
Mm-hmm.
O-line still looks good. They're just getting older, so maybe get some depth. D-line looks good too. Linebackers.
An aging team.
Yeah, I would go outside linebackers. Mingo getting older.
He likes the speed at linebacker a lot for that crazy blitz and shit.
Yeah, which that Larimore guy, Larry Moore, however you say it, only 81 speed, but he's got 86 acceleration, but he don't have no moves to get around to try to get that blitz. So I'm going to say linebackers for sure.
Him signing Earl Thomas was really surprising to me because of how he plays. I cut him because of the way he was starting to regress and the fact that he just didn't play well for me. And to have him in the back end on a blitzing cover zero defense is really surprising, because I don't think he'll be able to hold up one-on-one in those situations.
You know, honestly, though, the last 2 times we played, I don't really remember him blitzing as heavy as he did in the past. I don't know if he was just trying to mix it up, or
Huh.
I don't feel like he, at least against me, I don't feel like he blitzed me as heavy as before.
Okay. The thing that sticks out to me is tight end. I think he can get a tight end here. The two guys he has are not special. I looked at, Romero, they're two run blockers, so maybe he uses them just for run blocking. But I do agree. I think receiver, those guys are right at the border of starting to decline. Hilton's down to 85 acceleration, which is, I'm shocked he's still there, especially with what he makes. But overall, I think that's a good breakdown, Cody. And he has the 14th pick in the first round, so he can go a couple different ways there. Be interesting to see what he does. Kind of had a down year. He was 10-6 the last 2 years before that. Missed the playoffs both times, and then this year, kind of fell off a little bit. All right, Cowboys, our favorite buddy that loves to trade. Great debate in the chat the other day. He's got the 6th pick in the first round. He actually says he's going to make a draft, which I still don't believe. What do you guys think here?
First and foremost, he needs to give me Jalen Smith.
I think he needs to cut some running backs. I told you 2 years ago I tried to get him, and he said he had a deal for him, and that deal still has not happened. So I think he was just lying to me, or somebody reneged on him.
Yeah, he's got a slew of halfbacks.
Same thing with receiver.
Yeah, I was gonna say I go receiver. Let's see. O-line still good. Just get kind of old. He signed, didn't he sign? No, just kidding. I thought he signed.
He signed Kaiser at quarterback. I know he wanted him bad, so I think he got what he wanted there.
Who was the rookie that he was, the defensive rookie he was talking about?
Outside backer,
Jaguar
Jaguar or something like that. The right outside backer.
Oh yeah, I see him.
Mm-hmm. Had a nice productive season as a rookie, honestly. I know he beat my linebacker for defensive rookie of the year, so I think it'd be a nice building block for him. But if he would have asked me what exactly he needs, I would think skill position, wide receiver, cornerback. That's first from my perspective. I know his cornerbacks is getting a little old, and not only that, they just have one has slow development, and the other one is just getting up there a little bit. So I wouldn't be surprised if cornerback is something he did touch, but I know for a fact that receiver is another thing that he might want to touch, because I know Jerron Jones, he can't do it all by himself. You need a complementary, and Braxton Miller, I don't think is that, only because he's 28.
I agree.
Yeah. I can see the corner McMillan coming off here at 6. I think the other guy will be gone. But if he gets that guy, I think he'll give him a nice rotation at corner. Since he does like to play cover 1, McMillan is the fastest corner in the draft. And does have good coverage skills, so I think that would fit his scheme well. I projected the DN to him, but I think there's a couple different ways he can go, like you guys mentioned. Be interesting to see what he does, if he does show up. Alright, the Dolphins. I'll take the lead on him since I face him a good bit. His quarterback situation is interesting. He had Drew Brees last year, and when I played him, I knew Brees didn't have the arm strength, so I just came up and played him real tight and tried to force him to throw over the top. And when he did, we were able to make interceptions, and we had everything went our way in that game. So I think he's shifting to the Brewer guy right there. He's got 94 arm strength to kind of get the ball downfield. He likes that Gibson guy, even though he's not rated that high. He loves using him. But I wouldn't be surprised to see a running back come off at that number 22 spot. I think he likes his receiving core. The fucking tight end is a monster. when I play him, I try to use her against that tight end and let the corners handle the receivers, and it worked well last game, but he'll figure out something else. Scrolling through, O-line's not bad. They've developed pretty well. Malone has developed into a beast. I remember when he drafted him, he put a lot of work into him. I see a DN possibly. He says he's taking the linebacker, and when you look at his left outside linebackers, I can see why. I can see that guy fitting in perfectly with his scheme. He likes a lot of speed at the linebacker. Corners are good, even though they're getting older. And then his safeties, he likes developing those guys, so I think he's fine with those. So I believe him when he says he's going to take the linebacker, but it wouldn't surprise me if he, kind of threw a curveball just for the hell of it. And he's got number 1 and number 22. And I see a comment from Blake talking about Reese's dip pretzels. Team is a work in progress. Bucks taking the South this season. You heard it here first. Yeah, all right. It's not hard to be 9-7 to win the division, so I believe you.
Hey, I did that. Don't be hating.
I'm sorry. All right, Super Bowl champs. This is Levi. This is your buddy.
Nothing, if you would personally ask me, but what is the box? I know he needs offensive linemen. Tackles, he's definitely in the market for. So if you definitely have a legit one, I think he's the person you could talk to about getting that. He has absolutely nobody over 80 overall except one person.
What the hell?
Good right there.
Jeez.
Yeah, pretty depleted. But he doesn't need anybody on defense. Like, absolutely nobody. It's not even funny how serious I'm being. But I know he went to go get Patrick Peterson, so that secondary is pretty deadly, pretty damn deadly, and they can hit. That's one of the boxing specialties, which is why I get on the ground when I catch the ball because I don't have time to fumble. But yeah, if anywhere, he might double or triple dip in offensive lineman for sure, and because he doesn't need running back, he doesn't need quarterback, he doesn't need wide receivers. So I think he might dip in the offensive lineman a lot, and might, when I say might, it's the key word, might look at running back, but I think everything else is pretty plugged in, pretty fine.
Yeah, that's a pretty good analysis right there. And of course, as the champ, he's got number 32. Excuse me. I think that at that spot, O-line will still be good. There'll be some good guys there that you can get and can start right away. But spot on. Good job. All right, Jeff's Falcons. As usual, a very highly rated team. They did make the second round of playoffs this year. Got past the Vikings in the first round. Pick 25 is what he'll have. What do you guys think on the roster?
He needs money. He needs money. Because I know that Corey Green is going to be signed soon. He just signed John Ross to a big deal. So
oh my goodness, I see that.
At this point in time, somebody else important is coming off the books for him, but I can't specifically think of what. It's somebody pretty important. But I know for a fact, I seen his cap, and definitely, I don't think he even has about $10 million in cap. It's definitely a money issue there, because I think it's starting to dwindle down. Basically, who can you resign and who can you get rid of? But where does he need a position? I can't tell you. Not at all.
I think a right tackle. TJ Lang is getting older. He's still decent for this year, but I think you need the backfill there. You need some depth. D line, especially DN.
If he got speed off the edge, I think Lang becomes pretty beatable.
Yeah. Linebacker. He's got a lot of linebackers. Well, I think you can use an upgrade there on the left side.
Yeah, left side for sure.
Jeez, these corners. Are you serious? Who gave him these? Well, I know he drafted that Polly Dixon guy, but Darby? Oh my God.
Paulie Dixon's going to be up for re-sign after this year too.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a pretty damn good team. I know. I don't know if he's going to be able to do much with the money situation unless he earns a cap upgrade or a cap clearance, I should say. If he does that, then maybe that'll help a little bit. I hit the wrong button here. While I'm getting back to the right screen, Levi, I have a comment for you from the Rams. It says, "Can Levi stop beating on the Rams like that?" Smiley face.
Whoa. First off, you ask the team, not me. I just tell them what to do. They do it. So that's up to them.
Well, there you go. There's your response, Reggie. All right, so we're on the illustrious 49ers. Levi, you have the floor.
Man, it hurt getting rid of a lot of people this season. We got rid of C.J. Beathard. We got rid of Reuben Foster. I let go of my right tackle. It's a lot of people and my tight end. So there's about 6 starters that we're missing on this team. Jimmy Ward, I had to let him go. It's a money issue with everybody. So a lot of people had to kind of go. So I think this season we're just looking to basically fill up depth on the team, and definitely for next year, money issue is going to be a big thing with this offensive lineman because my left tackle, my center, and my right guard all need to be resigned this season, and it's going to be definitely a big issue because also Aaron Lynch is on the last year of his contract, and I think also Eric Armstead. So we have a lot of money issues. Well, not really money issues, but who to specifically pay. Because I think we have about 55 million in cap, and we definitely need help at linebacker, and I
Yeah.
might take a look at safety. Definitely safety.
Yeah, your pick number 30. I think you can get a linebacker. This is actually a decent linebacker class finally. First one in 4 years.
Finally.
I think you'll be able to draft a starter there. As long as you did your scouting, which I know you did. And then I think you said safety too, because the Kevin Wall guy doesn't look like a well, he's got quick development. Maybe that's something.
Dre Douglas, he took over for Jimmy Ward last year. I just never moved him to free safety, but he's playing that.
Oh,
free
okay.
safety
I see that. Yeah,
But
all right.
another spot that I might look at that nobody is going to pay attention is running back because Christie has balled out ever since his rookie season, and it's sad for me to try to put him under contract for right now, and he's old. He's about to be 27 after this season, so like I said, it's going to be a lot of replacement in the Bay Area of do we have to actually keep him or do we get rid of him? Because the only position set for a minute is cornerback, wide receiver, and quarterback. That's
Yeah, I
the
was
only
mad at your
one.
corners, and I have good corners. That made me angry.
Man, I don't know, man. It's Hosey. Hosey is a free agent next year. It's a lot of what ifs, like do they come back or anything like that. But like I said, receiver is the only lockdown position because Josh Malone, Will Downey, and Harvey Poulter, they definitely hold down the squad on the offensive end. If one don't step up, the other one will. And Beathard putting Lepsis under his wing and basically him being the quarterback that he is now without barely playing a snap, I think we'll be all right on the offensive end. It's just a long-term run about San Francisco for right now.
Very good. The New York Giants, who love to build through free agency and has probably never made a draft. They have the 19th pick overall, and when you start looking through this roster, of course they've transitioned to Davis Webb. And then you look at the running backs. That's the interesting thing to me. Ajayi won that award last year, but they're both 28. And that's right on the cusp of breaking down. So it'll be interesting to see what they do there. And then you scroll through. Go ahead, Cody.
I think he's got other needs though than halfback. I think he needs to go a few O linemen, like a right tackle. or not right tackle, right guard, and a left tackle. I think he needs to replace Flowers. Um, and his DT is good, but I think he needs to start getting some new ends. I know he's been bidding on a few of them. And then I think he needs some outside linebackers as well.
He has one of my former players. Go figure.
He has one of everybody's former players.
I let a lot of people go, dog. So many. I would say receivers, and I thought about it. No, he doesn't.
No, he only throws to one guy. It doesn't matter.
Only one, but we're not going to talk about that. I wouldn't be surprised if he took a pick at definitely on the tackles. I think he's going to probably end up replacing Flowers. But even though he resigned Flowers to a big contract, again, don't understand. Majority of his people actually have a 7-6 year contract. Also something we won't talk about. But I just think at this point he needs to start kind of like looking back to get younger and getting more depth behind his superstars like OBJ, and Jay Ajayi and Jeremy Hill. I just think it's time to start looking younger. So I wouldn't be surprised if he went any place that can get younger and still be good.
Well, hopefully the CPU does a good job for him in that respect, because I don't think he'll be there, unfortunately. Let's jump to the next team, the Jaguars, and Kyle couldn't make it, unfortunately, but he has the 10th pick in the first round. I projected him to take an offensive lineman. What do you guys think?
You know, Kyle. Left guard, like you probably said before, is definitely a consideration. And center, considering that AJ Kane is old and the backup is good, but it just depends on how you look at it. Does he really need help on defense? I think no. Because,
Hell no.
But right end is definitely a good consideration of where he might want to invest in.
I'd say defensive tackle.
Yeah, Cody, that's your division opponent. I'm sorry. Go ahead and weigh in.
Go ahead and take him over, please.
I mean, he doesn't need nobody.
He kind of had an off year last year.
He did, and I was very surprised about that.
He's just been very busy with work, the new job and everything. He's actually been working 2 and 3 jobs, busting his ass. So.
Oh wow.
I think a lot of it was just he was tired, really, and didn't have a lot of time to practice and everything.
Right.
But yeah, he needs a few pieces on O-line, guards, and right tackle. I know he had started that quarterback, and I told him after our first game he needed to sub his ass out. He said, no, I'm going to roll with him. Because he played terrible, but he said he's going to roll with him. But he says he's going back with Bridgewater. So.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I mean, other than that, just BPAs.
I think D tackle. Now that I look, further into it, O-line and D-line actually. Hopefully, I don't know if he'll make the draft or not, but hopefully he'll set his draft board for one of those 2 positions. Let's jump to the Jets, and I'll take the lead on him. He has the 17th pick in the first round, and he's done a good job. You guys remember how hard it was, number 1, to get a Jets user. And then number 2, he switched from the Redskins to the Jets. And these guys were, I believe, 8-8 last year, which is a huge improvement from where they were because they were just horrible. He's done a good job in building up the roster. Stafford, I think, is still pretty good. Montgomery's got one more solid year in him, I think. And kind of scroll through the rest of it. Robbie Anderson's tough. I think I made him too good when I was upgrading the roster.
He torched me like crap when I played him.
and then that O line's getting better, and they're young, and that's going to be a tough thing to deal with going forward. D line's not bad. Could use some youth at D tackle, but you can get by with those guys for one more year. He always tries to get linebackers, as you can see. He's got like 900 linebackers on his roster. He just signed Hightower. I know there was a bidding war for him. I could see a corner if there's one there at 17. I don't know if there's going to be one there worth taking by then, but if there is, I think he can go there. Eric Berry's slowing down. I can see that. Oh, Jesus, Adams is a beast, my lord. But anyways, what do you guys think?
I wouldn't be surprised if he took a look at quarterback. Due to just Stafford being old, we might want to replace him soon. And I have no idea what's left on his contract. Let's see.
He's got a good contract. His glitch contract, yeah, he doesn't cost a lot. I left that the way it is, try to entice someone to take the Jets, and yeah. You see, it's a very, very good deal.
Yeah, I see. Trust me, I know firsthand about building the Jets, and I had a depleted Jets team at that.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Big props. Big props.
All right, so let's jump to, oh my God, the Detroit Lions.
Next.
Pick 27 in the first round that he doesn't need. I don't know if there's any holes.
There isn't, except fullback, because there's nobody there.
He can probably take a first round fullback and he'll be like 80, 86.
Well, with all that money he spent re-signing those guys, and he got Lee Hadnot, his contract's up this year, so I don't know if he'd take a dip at halfback or not.
Too. This is going to be an intriguing offseason for him because it kind of determines who he gets to keep out of his first draft class.
Oh, yeah. I could see a right tackle to help protect all those assets. That's about it.
That's just about it. Fun fact, though, can you guess who his highest paid player is on the team?
I think the left tackle, maybe.
No, it's not the left tackle, and it's not Brad Kaya. It's Tease Tabor,
the corner.
7-year, $90 million contract man. Apparently, he's the highest paid Lion. I found that very interesting.
I would not have paid him that kind of money. He's very good, but I don't think I would have paid him that. Just because when you look at him, the 87 speed's not elite. The 76 jumping is definitely not elite. But he's very good in coverage. Very good in coverage.
Very. Unless he doesn't really get exposed for his speed, honestly, I don't know how he mask it up, but he does.
Wow. All right, so we've come to the conclusion that he needs a right tackle and nothing else. So trade the rest of your picks. The Packers are next. They have the 18th pick in the first round. They played better last year. Almost got in the playoffs. But he doesn't have a quarterback right now. So
the best draft analysis right now is quarterback. Right there. Really don't need anything else. They need to kind of find somebody to guide the helms of this team. And a tight end. How do you not have a quarterback and a tight end?
Yeah, and he's usually pretty active, so I'm surprised that he doesn't have these things yet. I don't know if he's working a lot or what's going on, because if we've been in free agency a little while now. Maybe he put in some bids. I hadn't looked in a while. But yeah, outside of those two things, maybe interior OL can be upgraded. Well,
Yeah,
OL
right
in
back.
general, yeah.
Hmm.
Um, those ends are getting old. D
Hard.
tackle could upgrade a little bit.
Hmm.
Um, well, yeah, I think lines of scrimmage definitely, and then the quarterback and tight end. So hopefully he'll be able to hit on some of those things. He usually doesn't make the draft because he's West Coast, but maybe he'll be off and he'll be able to make it.
Hopefully.
All right, Panthers. Oh my gosh, what a disaster! And I'm so sad to go through this.
I am so excited.
His first round pick is in Miami. Thanks to I think a trade made 2 years ago actually. So when you look through his roster, um, I you can go almost anywhere here. Um, he does have good speed at receiver. That is there. Um, but everywhere else, he's got a good left tackle. Actually, left side O line's not bad.
Yeah, the O-line's pretty good.
How the hell did they go 0-16 with that line? Jeez.
He's
Anyone has
right
anyone
in.
played him?
I haven't.
I personally haven't.
Okay, I haven't either. I thought these guys were terrible. They're not terrible.
No.
I think you can use some help at corner, but they're not terrible there. Um, yeah, this team is not bad. Come on, man, let's pick it up. I don't usually call people out during this, but this team is not 0-16 bad. It's really not.
Oh, you're right. It's really not. Needs a punter though. I want to go invest in that soon.
Oh, don't say that. we might see a second round punter here.
Might as well.
Oh Lord.
This team could use some help at receiver for sure. Because I know that Juju is good, but I don't know what type of offense that he runs. So he could possibly get a third complimentary receiver if he wants to. But tight end is also another one for me that I think that he would need, and right in like Cody said because he doesn't have one.
I totally agree. Before we go to the next team, Shoebox has a comment in the chat that says, "There's a meaning behind my trash O-line. More pressure from y'all means more scrambling I can do."
Shut up.
I agree.
So he's cheating the system by not drafting him.
Yes, that's exactly what he just said. I do not draft him for a reason. It's exactly what he just said.
Alright. So next are the Patriots, and they have the 16th pick in the first round. He had a good year last year. He couldn't finish it off because of his situation. And I did see he's back and making moves, so I'm glad to see that. And hopefully things are settled down a little bit. Kind of going through this guy. I tell you, man, I'm proud of how much better he has become, because last year he was bad, and this year he came out and he said, "I'm gonna have my game plan. I'm gonna stick to it no matter what the hell you do." And playing him now, you know the damn blitz is gonna come, and you got to have a plan for it. And he's not gonna change. So if you have a plan for it, you can execute. You'll hit big plays, but if you don't, it's going to get you in third and long situations, and you'll be behind the chains. And then he's really got better at usering. I think that's the big difference with him. And he's not bad now. I think if he would have kept playing, he would have had a shot at the playoffs. So, you look through the roster here, I think he can upgrade at left tackle, well, both tackle positions.
Yeah, both tackles.
Left end. He signed Burfict, which, I mean, Yeah. I let him go because he was down to 75 speed, but he still has some really good skills. Um, he's not bad at corner. Well, Butler. He could use a corner. I don't think I've never seen a 92 corner with 82 acceleration and 89 speed. That's really unique. He needs some more speed in the secondary. What the style he plays. If he doesn't get more speed, those guys are going to give up some big plays.
Hmm. I don't know. I'm pretty happy for the Patriots, considering that he's done better. I think him and Cody were the two people I was rooting for this Madden to kind of like be successful, and Cody's proved me right. And so far, Patriots has proved me right. He just couldn't fulfill his promise. But again, just piggybacking off of what you said, I think left tackle will be another position to look at, and right tackle ends and a little bit of speed on defense if he wants to keep that blitzing mentality up. But for the most part, yeah, I'm just about it.
Very good. All right. The Raiders.
Left tackle.
Oh, my God.
I can't look at this team.
The third pick in the draft, and I was so mad last year. I sat down and I broke it down, and I said, you need to take a tackle. And you know what he took in the top 10? A damn possession wide receiver. I was so upset.
An 81 timeout.
So, yeah, he needs a quarterback. I think if he bid on a veteran quarterback, he'd be a really great fit here. Oh, God.
Ooh, left end. Right end. He can get away with right end, I think, for another year, but
Defensive lineman, period.
And I know Jerome probably isn't watching, but damn it, Jerome, if you see this, take some notes. I really want you to do well. I mean, you're already in a pretty tough division, but come on, man.
hey, he did take out Jeff, who made it to the playoffs.
I did see that. That was very impressive.
Of the season. Oh my God! I had Jeff win. I think he was my blowout game of the week. I saw that he won. I'm like, this had to be some type of force or. Look back, he played and he won. I said, you know what, son? You special. There's something so special about you. I tell you that.
Oh man,
he needs to double dip at safety as well. I mean, he can get away.
Totally
with
agree.
Safety. He can get away with strong safety, I think, with Brady Weaver, but
yeah, when he traded Obi to the Chiefs, I was really confused. He got a decent return, but I was like, dude, that guy's like a blue goose. That's what one of the GMs used to say. He said, you don't see a blue goose very often. You don't see a 6'4" guy with that speed and physical combination. You don't trade that. You just don't trade that. And anyways, Jerome, if you need help, man, just let us know. I'll help you. I'll give you my whole draft board and tell you who to pick. I'll log in as you and make your picks. I mean, God almighty. Anyways, Rams are up, and I know he's been watching. Hopefully he still is. The Rams have the number 2 pick in the first round. In the mock draft, I gave him the Fleetfoot corner, Mr. Bennett Blue. What do you guys think?
I don't think he touches corner at all.
What?
I think he goes tackle.
What?
Tackle.
yeah,
Why?
just having the O-line in another league with the Rams, man, that's what they need. They need O-line bad.
To be fair, it hasn't been fair on him, considering that myself, Ben, and Caleb have great pass rushers, so he really doesn't stand a chance in the pocket at all, because we had 10 sacks on him last year in just one game alone. So I think definitely he goes offensive lineman. Where he starts, I think it's up to him. Any replacement will be good. I know if Rob Havenstein is on the outside again against Solomon Thomas, I think he just might go pro.
Dude, let me tell you something. And I got Rob Havenstein up right now. The motherfucker has 43 agility. He's terrible at pass blocking. He's already a 76 there with negative confidence. That means he's a 79 with 43 agility, 82 strength. He doesn't have a chance in hell. So let me tell you what I did with the Rams, because I had the Rams in another league and I went 13-3. You put Havenstein at center because he's got good awareness. You hide his agility there because you don't really need it at center. The other guys you have, go find you another tackle with decent agility. Dow, okay, I can see that. These other guys that are at center, McDougal can play a guard with 86 strength, decent acceleration, decent impact block. But yeah, I think at number 2, you don't take an offensive lineman unless he's out of this world, and that's the only thing that you need. He has other needs. I think the corner would give him something that it'll give him a strength. He's got Joe Hayden at the other corner outside of this Keon Foote guy who looks really good. And you pair that with the safety, he took Nate Wade, who's a beast. And then the strong safety, Alexander could hold on for maybe one more year if you use him the right way. And then that gives him a strong secondary all around. But to compete against that division, man, you've got to find something to make it a strength, I think. And at number 2, you got to take difference makers. You got to take guys that you can't find anywhere else. Bennett Blue's the best corner in the draft. You got a place for him. It's easy. Do the right thing. Do the smart thing. And take Blue. Just take him. O-line, there's a guy right now I got a bid on. You can take him right now. He can start easily at right tackle. I don't think he's got a bid on him. You gotta go. You gotta do your homework. You can't just sit here and try to compete against the best and be complacent. And I know I'm preaching, but I took this same damn team and won 13 games with them, and that same sorry ass O-line. It can be done, but you gotta be smart, man, and you gotta be committed to the craft.
Side note, y'all call me delusional for switching from the Rams.
I still think you were delusional.
I'm perfectly fine, man. I made the right decision. I made the right decision.
Of course you did. You'd be good with whoever you got.
It's a little more difficult. I just think the 49ers was young, which is the reason why it swayed in my answer.
Totally plausible. The Ravens. I really was excited to look at the Ravens, and I'm going to tell you why here in a minute, but I'll let you guys go first. They've got the 12th pick in the first round.
Just after playing him, I know he's a smart player. He did really well on the ground and ran play action when he needed to. So, O-line, I would say, just because, they're young, but if he could find a stud O-lineman to help with that run game, maybe a couple pulling guards or something. That's about the only thing I could see.
Safety is I think something he'll look at. A playmaker in the secondary, period. Even though that the Juan guy is pretty freaking fantastic, I think he's going to need help at the safety position because nobody has that playmaking changing, like, ooh, I got a game plan for him type look to them.
I agree. Scrolling through the team, yes, I see places where he can go, but this dude talks like this team is just flat out garbage. And I don't think these guys are flat out garbage. You look at Powell. I think Powell's a franchise quarterback. I remember he was taken by Trey when he had these guys in the beginning. I think Waddy is a good player at running back. Like you said, Cody, he can run with him. Anyone would love to have Darius Howell at receiver. Of course, Ed Abali, the corner that was taken last year, is awesome. He paired him with another good corner. Stanley's a franchise left tackle. So forth and so on. So I think the team has pieces, but it really bothers me when people come in mid-season and talk trash about their team, and you don't have a chance to do anything about it. Then you get in the off season, make your moves, try to make trades, make the draft, and then just work on it. Until then, trashing the team ain't doing nothing but making you sound like a crybaby. So that's my 2 cents.
Interesting 2 cents. Receivers, I think it's a position he might actually go and touch. I think he needs some help along with Darius Howell. 80 acceleration, Jeremy Maclin is not going to get that done.
He should be cut.
And yeah, I think at this point you should just cut him. Angel Baker is not the playmaker you really need. That breakaway playmaker, especially with the division you're in, with guys who's 5'8", 5'9", mossing everybody, and the Browns and Steelers just having impeccable skills on top of impeccable players. So I think you need receivers to kind of, combat with that a little bit for offense, and you can go a little bit in the secondary also.
Cody, you got anything else?
Nah.
I didn't mean to get all preachy. I'm sorry. I said I was going to be nicer. I'm sorry, Ravens. I didn't mean all that. Redskins have the 4th pick overall. I think I projected the linebacker. I forget his name. One of the right outside linebackers for him because he didn't have one on the roster, and I think it would have been a good fit.
If there's a halfback to take, I gotta go halfback. At least a speedy guy. Maybe not first round, but I gotta get a speed guy halfback.
Yeah, I think second round. I think you can get one for sure. He does like speed. Yeah, I remember the thing with Forrest Gump, who I don't think he did anything with him, but that was a whole deal.
Well, he's got like 15 receivers on his roster.
Yeah, I can see O-line.
Oh, there go Nate Solder. Go figure. I tell you what, Redskins has been a really big shopper this offseason because I've seen him put a bid on damn near everybody.
Yeah,
he got Reuben Foster.
Yeah, he took 2 of my people.
There you go.
I had a bid in for Reuben for a minute, but
I wanted to keep him. But for him, he didn't even want a bad contract. It's just like 1 year after regression is kind of like, man, you no longer are serviceable.
I'm not going to get on the Redskins too much. I talked to him in DM. He has been traveling for work, and so he had been pretty busy. But he assured me that he would be active in the off season, and damn sure he's been active. So I appreciate that. It'll be interesting to see what he does. I do think the linebacker is a good fit, but I think he doesn't need a D tackle for sure. His D tackles are pretty good, so we'll see what he does. The Saints have the number 8 pick. I projected a 3-4 D end to him that he could maybe slide the D tackle if he's a 4-3, but what do you guys think on him?
Well, he's trying to trade down to get some more picks. Me and him were talking, so that might happen. So I guess he's got some positions, some depth he wants to fill in.
That's a good move.
I mean, some for a better player, first round, trying to get some good overalls in there, I guess.
He needs a pass catcher outside of Michael Thomas because these dudes are definitely getting old.
And if that's the case, trading down is the smart move there, I think. I think there's a couple receivers that are good, but I don't know if they're number 8 good. And then to fill multiple holes, I think it's always a good move when he's up against the cap, too.
Actually, I did say that wrong. He's actually trying to trade up.
Oh, Okay.
He's trying to I completely flipped that around. He's trying to get another first, and he's trading his second and third for it.
Oh, all right. Well, I don't know if anyone is trading out of the top 10. I don't think anyone in the top 10 wants to trade out. I think it's a very top-heavy draft, just speaking in general. I think once you get past the top 15, it kind of levels out to where people are on the same level.
You know what? If you would have asked me, I think the Saints has one of the most underrated linebacking cores in the league for us to not really have a great linebacking class in the last 3 years.
Yeah, that Ramirez, the Ramirez guy was a CPU pick, and he developed him pretty well. And then he developed Anzalone from the start. And then Torres, I think he actually took a couple years ago. And he put a lot of training into those guys. So he's done a good job there. I agree with you. And I hope he plays more games. He got frustrated last year and kind of took a break. And he says he'll be in full force this year. And I hope so, because he's a good player. When I was in the NFC South a couple years ago, we had some really good battles in that division. All right, the Seahawks. Mr. Levi, I know he's your friend and buddy and favorite opponent.
Oh my God, it's never an easy game with Ben at all whatsoever. I am glad and sad about two things. I'm glad that Cam Chancellor Cam Chancellor and Richard Sherman are no longer part of this team. But I am also sad that he has a duplicate of Sherman, damn near, except faster, and he can tackle. So I'm not really happy about that. But for Ben, it's all about basically keeping the ball out of the quarterback's hands. And I know he said he grabbed Cam to kind of stop that gap for bad quarterback play. But yeah, it's not looking the best for right now when it comes to quarterback. So I think he won't look into getting a quarterback. I just think he'll develop his quarterback a little bit more this year. His run game will be a little bit fine for the most part. Receivers is getting better every year, so something he'll need to look at also. Tight end, I know he grabbed Gerald Everett, which I had my eye on, but I couldn't get to him because I was at work, so I couldn't even put a bid on him because I definitely needed a tight end. Offensive lineman, he don't really need, even though he says he does. I know for a fact he doesn't, so therefore, I don't think he needs to really put, any emphasis on getting a specific lineman. Justin Houston and Malik McDowell. Malik McDowell, he just moves to left end because I remember him previously being a defensive tackle. Defense, he really don't need. Okay, if you just ask me, he don't need no defense for real, at all because they all play like steroid taking bastards. So no defense. Now. I'm cool with that. Just more on the offensive end, and if he really wanted to go defense, I would go strong safety and Mike Tyson. But even Mike Tyson is pretty good. He's just very old. So yeah, a little bit more offense, kind of stopping that quarterback route and kind of getting him a little bit better. And yeah, that's just about it really. And if he really wanted to go there, he can grab defensive tackle. But I know he got Jaron Reed and Qualls on long-term contract, so it's probably his go-to for right now.
I remember him saying that he needed playmakers, so I think that's why Everett was there. He can definitely get separation at the tight end position for a couple more years. And then I think at right guard he could use an upgrade on the O-line. That guy Glowinski's okay. He's nothing special. But yeah, I think this team has actually aged pretty decently. He's kind of made some moves to backfill on those guys that he had to get rid of. This quarterback kneeled. Oh, okay, he's superstar. All right, so I guess he'll play with him. But I was thinking that he might draft a guy if that guy wasn't the answer. But overall, I think he's done a good job, given what he had to deal with the past year or so with those guys aging.
Oh, yay.
All right, so the Steelers are up, and he has the 28th pick in the first round after choking once again in the playoffs. Sorry, it has to be said. It has to be said. When you look through this roster, he doesn't need a lot because these guys are really good. But I think I can see a receiver.
Receiver, yeah.
Somehow he's made Jesse James into a star. Left guard could use an upgrade. Well, he needs a right tackle. D end. Left end.
It's just not looking like a very Scooby-like team.
I think did he lose some guys? No.
I know he lost Sean Davis for sure because he's with the damn Cardinals. So
yeah. He plays a 3-4, but he could use another D tackle for depth there. Of course, his linebackers are ridiculous. He moved good when the corner. After some debate on that, so I think he's good there. And then safety, he needs a safety. But still, with those linebackers and the way he uses those guys, it makes him very tough. And then offensively, I think he'll take a receiver if he does make the draft. At 28, I think that's a good spot to take a receiver that can make a difference. The Texans, oh my God. Alright, so here's my thing with the Texans. Stop trading your damn first round picks, man. Stop trading. You got to build with something. And you acknowledge that you're not a good player. If you're not a good player, don't trade your first round picks. You got to know that. But I am glad that you're feeling a lot better because we were all concerned about you. I know you had some things going on with your daughter as well. I'm glad she's doing better. And I am definitely glad that you contribute so many articles. You have led the league in articles the past 2 years with probably 30 combined. And I think that's awesome. But as you look through the roster, what do you guys think he needs?
His biggest concern is O-line. All the way around.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep, it's getting worse. That click R2. Yeah, definitely our O-line for sure. Linebacker core is pretty decent considering, the circumstances. But cornerback. Definitely cornerback. Because not only are they old, they're not really good. So cornerback. Especially in safety. Okay, yeah. Secondary. Secondary period. Don't even just put a specific position. Secondary for what he needs.
He had some bids on some guys. I do know that. I don't know if they're upgrades, but I know there were some bids out there. He's stuck with Deshaun Watson, which is good because he's still young and still can be pretty good. He got Kamara, and I think he went off the name because the Kamara in this league is not the Kamara in the NFL. Now, he has some value, but for what he paid him, I think he could have got him a lot cheaper. But I assume Kamara is going to be the starter there. I could see a receiver. Those guys are all right. But to go with Fuller, I think you need something else. He signed J.J. Nelson again. Jesus. Anyways. I agree with what the rest of you guys said.
I know that boy D-Hop still catches everything, though.
Oh, yeah.
I see that every time he plays somebody.
All right, Cody. You waited long enough. Go ahead.
My biggest concern is definitely linebacker. I don't feel like I have besides Scacia left outside, he's still got some stuff I need to work on with him. But I mean, Preston Brown, I need somebody to pair with him up the middle because Preston's my run stopper. I need some speed on the middle. And Milton, that right outside linebacker, he played pretty well his rookie season, but he's still, if I could find a linebacker that's quick or superstar or just got some better physical traits, I'm definitely going linebacker. Corner, I could probably take one just later, just to, because I got a couple of aging guys on there. Logan Ryan, this is his last contract year, so. And Zellner, I like him, but he is, I ain't able to develop him too much. So I might go that route. Maybe a free safety. Ryan Hayden's turned out to be really good. I've used my dev upgrade last year on him. Wide receiver I'm good at. Speaking of which, if anybody needs one, Noah Brown could be had, or even Fisher Gilbert.
I hit you up, dog. We can probably talk.
Why, you like Noah Brown?
I just need a 4-5 receiver, maybe. We'll talk.
Just draft one. Jeez.
And really, I signed Max Williams a couple of seasons ago, and I don't think it was really a good signing. I probably should have cut his ass. I need a run blocking tight end. I mean, he's got okay stats at run blocking, but I like another run blocking tight end, and I'd also would like to. I definitely need a defensive end too. I've got a couple bids in, trying to get some players for the low. The low. I mean, I could probably go defensive tackle, but this Marcus Brooks he's got some good stats or some attributes that I could work with. I'll probably be focused training on him this season, but there's just a lot of little here and there pieces to fill. My main concern really right now, though, is linebacker and defensive end.
Very good, man, and congrats again for making the playoffs, and I appreciate your continued dedication to getting better despite all of the bullshit that you've been through.
I know Madden fucking hates me. Back at you, Madden.
All right, and last but not least, after this hour-and-a-half marathon, we have the Vikings. The Vikings pick is number 24 in the first round. And what do you guys think on the roster?
Well, first and foremost, after every introduction I hear his name, gang. I think Gang doesn't need a damn thing. Again, it's one of the people who I hate playing. But running back, I wouldn't be surprised if he looked at running back only because the style of play that he actually does. I know he has an aggressive defense, so if you would have asked me if he needs anybody on defense, my answer would be no. Because he can make anybody be good. But linebacker, I know left outside linebacker is definitely a possibility, and right outside linebacker. So, yeah, both outside linebacker positions, and definitely no corner because you have 4 cornerbacks with 85 overall, which is kind of damn near ridiculous. If I were him, I think receiver. I remember talking to him about that before, even though he has to find Diggs, and I know we made a trade in the season for his now wide receiver named Marshall Mathers. I know he might take another dip at wide receiver.
What in the hell,
I know
man?
he might take a dip at wide receiver, but I think Gang is pretty set. But another thing is offensive lineman. I know he complained about
Yeah, he needs some O-line.
That's what I was going to say was O-line.
Definitely. They got ran through it in the playoffs, and it was quite atrocious.
He definitely needs to get Biggie Smalls over there at left guard or right tackle or something.
I can't do this, dog.
Okay.
Or Rick Ross, the boss.
John Carter, Christopher Wallace, Tupac Shakur. Gang is hilarious, dog.
All right, so that's all the teams there. You guys have any final thoughts before we sign off?
Fuck box.
I'm winning the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah, I'm gonna just start my fuck rant now. Fuck box. Fuck the NFC West. Fuck Kendall. Basically, anybody in the NFC, F y'all. You know, at the end of the day, we a family against the AFC. But when we together, I can't stand y'all at all. Like, y'all make my life very stressful. And yeah.
Levi, is there some things you'd like to get off your chest?
I think not. I think I'm okay. I promise.
You sure? You sound like you need some a session or two.
I think I'm okay. I promise.
Oh, all right.
But nothing else. I think I'm good.
Thank you for your lovely sweating predictions that we all love.
I appreciate it, man.
You've done a great job with those. Cody, thank you for your storyline Sundays that you picked up and done a good job with.
I'm trying to come up with some creative ass stories.
They were creative.
Say they on crack. I'm just waiting for somebody to say they on cocaine.
You can say it. You can have a scandal in San Francisco about crack or drug dealing or some shit.
If anybody were to be on any type of drugs, it would be Solomon Thomas because something's wrong with him.
All right, well there you go. It writes itself.
Did y'all see the story with the Bears receiver Jackson Storm, who he's messing around with?
Oh my God! You creating scandals in Chicago? You live in Tennessee.
I'm just saying, you know, Kanye West ain't happy with him.
I can't ever read one of his stories straight without laughing. Every time, dog. Every time.
Kim K and Jackson Storm getting it on.
Ah, damn. Well, thank you guys for doing this lovely draft show with me. I appreciate both of you and your contributions. Thank you guys. Yeah. Thank you guys for watching. There are actually still 3 people on. We had a peak of 8. So a lot of people did tune in. And if you did not see it live, of course the replay will be up in the chat and on the site. So please listen to our advice, Jerome, and do the right thing. And we'll see everyone back here tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, for the Season 4 draft. So for Levi and Cody, I am the commish, Ace Coach 704. Thank you for watching. Have a great night. And thank you for being a part of the PEL Primetime Elite League. Good night.
Peace.